Thank you, Nancy. Respected guest of honor, keynote speakers, principal, distinguished alumni, teachers, and my dear student friends. A warm good evening to all. College of Engineering Trivandrum has always been at the forefront in organizing events and programs for the benefit and empowerment of students with the support of its alumni spread across the world. As a continuation to the activities of the College of Engineering Trivandrum Alumni Association, or CETA, we formed a club named Be Bold and Confident, or BPC in short, for the empowerment of students in CET. The motto of the club is Be the Voice and Not an Echo. The objectives of the student empowerment programs at CET Club is to empower students to have strong learning mindset and have innovation as a way of life. BBC, a club, engages in various activities to mold students in such a way that they become assets to our institution. We envisage the following programs for the benefit of student community in CET. Number one, student engagement, where students lead various activities like presentations, group work, etc. Number two, in leadership development, where activity-based training sessions take place, which enable innovation and ability to think out of the box and thus help in confidence building. Number three, self-assessment and feedback, which includes assessment of real-life applications of what the students are learning and later sharing with this knowledge with others. Number four, community services, activities to support the local community and support students with special needs. Number five, mentorship program, where alumni mentorship is provided to selected students. Number six, career planning programs like resume making skills, group discussion skills, interview skills, etc. And number seven, interaction with industry leaders and senior alumni members. So these are the broad objectives of this club. The activities of the club will help students to face and experience the real world with confidence and help them progress in their career and personal lives. With these few words, I welcome all the students to the CET BBC Club. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And to my friends, you can start asking questions about the club in the chat box, which will be answered in the coming Q&A session. Now I invite Alicia for the welcome address.
Thank you, Nancy. Good evening, one and all. A warm and hearty welcome to all the CETians gathered here. It is my pleasure to welcome each one of you to this auspicious occasion. I feel privileged and honored to be a part of this journey towards being bold and confident. This occasion will give us CETians an opportunity to be a voice and not an echo. Everyone possesses some or the other skills, but what is required is a way to develop and empower these skills. See, I would like to mention a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. Do the thing that you think you cannot do. This club will help each one of us to empower those skills which are required for the betterment of our future. I would like to mention a special welcome to our guest of honor, Mr. Manoj Vasudevan, internationally renowned next-level leadership readiness expert, management consultant and author, and Dr. Divya S. Iyer, IAS, who is a doctor turned IAS officer from 2014 batch. I would like to extend a warm welcome to a person who is known for his wisdom. Our Honorable Principal, Dr. Gigi CV. I would like to be, on behalf of the CET BBC Club, I would like to extend a warm welcome to you, sir. The formation of this club would not have been possible without the support of our faculty advisors, Dr. Jayashree PK, Dr. Danya, Dr. Anjan R. Nair, Dr. Bindu GR, and Dr. Girija K, and our beloved alumni, Satish Kumar, Advocate Murugesh R, Raju Nair, Asha Thomas, Priya Thomas, and Srilal Srinivas. I would take this opportunity to thank each one of you for the support that you have offered us. On behalf of the CET BBC Club, I welcome you all to this occasion. I would like to invite Abhijit to offer the invitation.
Thank you, Alicia. So very warm each one and all. I'm Abhijit from S3 Mechanical. So as mentioned earlier, BBC is actually a club to empower the students of our college. And this inauguration would be incomplete without the presence of that person whose constant efforts are and the man who does not need any introduction, a honorable principal of GGC. He pursued his B.Tech in Electronics and Communication from TKM College of Engineering in 1997 and obtained his M.Tech in Communication Engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai in 1997. In 2007, he obtained his PhD from the same institution. So as a principal, he has fostered a sense of support and appreciation to staff and students alike. We feel very fortunate to have you as the principal during these challenging times. So I heartily welcome you, sir, to this auspicious occasion and address the gathering.
Thank you, Abhijit, for the introduction. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yeah. Our guests of honor, Mr. Manoj Vasudevan and Dr. Divya Iyer, esteemed members of our alumni, faculty members, and my dear students. A very good evening to all of you. I'm very happy that today, with the leadership of our alumni, we are inaugurating a new club in CET. And as all of you are aware, in CET there are more than 40 clubs. Many of them are, some of them are technical clubs, some are non-technical clubs. Some of the clubs are very active. And during this, pandemic period, actually, we are having a lot of discussions with our alumni, and our alumni are, doing a lot of things for us. One of the most important things that they have done during this period is the CET lab project, actually. And I'm very happy that we could support 218 CET students with the laptops supported by our esteemed alumni. And in addition to that, they are doing a lot of other things. Their major support is financial support. We support a lot of our students through GEM scholarship and a lot of other endowments, etc. And during this time, as I said, we are having a lot of discussions with alumni, and we even had a meeting of our chairman, college union chairman, for the last 40 years. And I'm very happy that Sri Sadish, Sri Murugesh Amaya, they are also here. Actually, they were former chairman of our college. And so after these meetings, actually, they are saying that they are very much interested in interacting with students, and they are for the well-being, for the development of our students. And again, as all of you are aware, the major attraction for the institution is that our placement is very good. When we talk about placement, it may be very good compared to nearby local engineering colleges, but I should say that our placement is not very good when compared to with other institutions like NIT, Calicut, IIT, etc. So when you talk about placement, again, our placement is just 50 to 60%, and also the average salary that our students get is just 4 lakhs. But we can do a lot, actually. Our major strength, as I often say, our major strength is first is our students. The top students only get into. Now this admission is going on this week. I can very well feel that only the toppers get into CET, and that it was so for the last 8 years also. And the second is our faculty members. Our faculty, we have 300 faculty members here, and very, very well qualified faculty members. And then third is our infrastructure. Our infrastructure is our government is spending around 100 crore every year for this particular college, maybe mainly in terms of salary for the faculty and staff, and also for infrastructure development. And apart from these three, our major strength is our alumni, actually. So we have 47,000 plus alumni, and they are occupying very good positions across the world. And if we can properly leverage the potential for our alumni, we can do a lot of things for our CET. And as all of you are aware, in the NARF ranking, CET is the only institution which got ranked in the first 100 band, the top 100 engineering colleges. But nearly around 3,500 engineering colleges participated in this ranking process, and we got a rank of 85th. In the country, we are 85th, actually. But comparing with the four strength which I said, our students, having good caliber and qualified faculty members, and also our infrastructure, and also our alumni, the very strong alumni. And we deserve a much better position. We should not be in the 85th position. Actually, I think in the coming years, maybe in the maybe next 3-4 years, I think we should get a rank in the first maybe 25 or 30. And we have all the potential for that, and we can achieve it. Actually. We need to do a lot for that. And so to get a good rank again, very good placement is very much essential. And as I already said that our placement is just maybe 50 to 60%. But I would like to see that our placement is 100%. Everyone come to college, everyone come to CET with the intention of getting a very good placement. So I think we can achieve that if you properly, as I already said, if we properly leverage the strength of our alumni, we can definitely of 100% placement. And I'm very happy that a new club is being inaugurated today, and the name of the club is BBC Club, a very beautiful name. Be bold and confident. Just I would like to say 2 words. As the name indicates, you should be bold and confident. To be bold and confident, you need 2 things. I am talking from my experience. Number 1 is, you should be knowledgeable about what you're doing. If I'm a teacher and I'm teaching, then I should know my subject. And if I'm a software engineer, then I should know my work. That is very important. Then other important thing is that you should be confident. To be confident, you must be, in addition to your knowledge, you should be very much sincere to what you're doing. And these are the two important characteristics as far as I'm concerned. It's very much important to make a person become bold and confident. So you should be knowledgeable, and you should be sincere to whatever you are doing. Even if as a student, you should be sincere, means you should be you should do your job well, means you should study well, and you should again attain for you should have good aim, and you should do something for the society and all. And I'm very happy that our alumni are taking initiative to inaugurate to start this particular club. And I should especially mention 5 names in connection with this particular club. Our Murugesh Ramaya of 1985 batch, Sri Sadish Kumar of 1986 batch, Priya Joseph of 1999 batch, Asha of 1999, and also Srilal again from 1999 batch. I express my special thanks to them for the initiative and the efforts they have taken for realizing this, and also the faculty members, our Anjan and also Dhanya and other faculty in Jaysri, and also have taken all the pains to coordinate and make this possible. And I'm very much thankful to Sri Manoj Vasudevan and Dr. Divya Iyer for joining us during the inaugural function of this particular club. Thank you all, and I wish all the best for the club. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Good evening to all the dignitaries, guests, and delegates with great joy and immense pleasure. My name is Bhagat Surya, and I'm currently pursuing my MBA in CET. It is a great honor for me to introduce and welcome our guest of this beautiful evening. He merely requires an introduction though. Our guest of the day is an internationally renowned, next-level readiness expert, management consultant, and an author with more than 2 decades of leadership experience with major multinational companies around the world. He is an alumnus of CET belonging to 1995 ECE batch. He is the author of an international bestsellers including Mastering Leadership the Mousetrap Way. He also an MPA from Imperial College London and has coached C-level executives, senior executives, bureaucrats, celebrities, even diplomats, entrepreneurs, and professionals from over 100 nationalities. He is the CEO of Thought Expression and Chief Mentor at Next Level Unlimited. He is also the 2017 World Champion of Public Speaking and has a mission to help 20 million people to overcome their fear of public speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Manoj Vasudevan to present the inaugural speech.
All right, welcome on board. I hope all of you have washed your hands before you joined this call. So how are you feeling today? So I'd like to know which department you are from. So in this session, I will be interactive as much as I can. So let me know in the chat box, which department are you from? Can you just type it in the chat box, which department are you from? Okay, guys, see mechanical, civil, electrical, ECE, civil. All right. So there is all the departments are represent. So if you're a faculty member, or I see a lot of alumni, a lot of volunteers who made this happen. So let me know which year did you graduate? So please let me know in the chat box, which year did you graduate? By the way, do you still remember which year you graduated? And perhaps you will find your batchmates in this call. Let's see. So we have a wide range of years coming up. So I hope you recognize some of your batchmates are in this call. A lot of people are in this call. That's great. Okay, you got a wide variety of people from different locations, different branches, different years. But by the way, with that exercise, you also know how old each one of you are. So when Dr. Jayashree invited me to speak at BBC, it sounded like I'm speaking at the BBC News channel. And I told her, I am the most unlikely person to be invited to an event called Be Bold and Confident, because when I was in CET, I was not even visible. Nobody remembers seeing me in CET, but I truly appreciate this initiative that all of you have come together to build. Like our principal, Dr. Gigi sir said, the initiative, when everybody comes together, magic happens. And that's a great initiative. I congratulate you for this venture. But today, as you embark on a new journey, I would like to share with you 3 things you need to focus on as students. These 3 things are going to be even more important than your marks and grades. And I tell you why. Because listen, these 3 things could mean the difference between whether your career will be easy or whether your career will be frustrating. So before I share with you those 3 things, let me tell you how I realized it. You see, I studied in Trivandrum. I still remember my first day of my pre-degree years. I studied in Government Arts College, Trivandrum. If anybody knows, anybody from Arts College, you can feel free to type in the chat box. I know you're from there. So on the first day of my pre-degree, my father took me to Government Arts College, Trivandrum for pre-degree registration. If you remember, I still remember walking up that majestic red colonial building. And we walked up to this second floor, where we are ushered into a big hall filled with parents and new students. So some people are saying they are from Arts College. Yeah. So we were standing there, we were waiting for so my father and I waiting for our chance to register. So this is before the classes start, right? This is a real first day in the college. I remember as we were waiting, a group of senior students approached us and said, "We are from ACES, Arts College English Rhetorical Society." And my father was so delighted, and he was convinced that I should sign up for that club right away. And he started the conversation with them. I immediately slipped away. I just went away. I knew what was coming because I was smart enough to sense that he was going to force me to do something that I didn't like or I didn't want. So my father called me back and said, "Come, I'll talk to these guys." So when I started to talk to these seniors, I took my father's hand and said, our turn has come, let's go. So I walked away from a golden opportunity. Looking back, I walked away from a golden opportunity. But on the way, my father kept telling me, "You should join the club." And I said, "Oh, I will do that later." Few months later, he asked me, "Did you join the club?" And I said, "You don't understand. That's not important. What's important is scoring high marks and doing a great job and getting a job." And the truth was this. Actually, I had visited the club once when I was in Arts College. I visited there. I saw the other people in the club, and I felt that others were so much more confident, fluent, and eloquent. So therefore, I never went back. I didn't tell my father, but I never went back. So that was in pre-degree. So 2 years later, I got admission in CET in electronics and communication engineering. Anyone in electronics and communication, please do type in the chat box. So if I recognize you or you recognize me, most probably you may not recognize me. So back then, getting into CET and being in electronics and engineering was like getting a life's golden ticket. So you're more assured to get a job, right? So that was this was in demand. So those days, my sister was studying in REC Calicut, which is now known as NIT Calicut. By the way, most of you know that my sister actually is a faculty at CET. Her name is Manchu. So when my sister was studying those days in REC, the principal of REC was a highly respected and competent administrator known as Dr. Unnikrishna Pillai. So one day during a train journey, my father bumped with this principal of REC, Dr. Unnikrishna Pillai, and they chatted. And my father asked him, do you have any advice for my son? Because he studies electronics and communication. So apparently Dr. Unnikrishna Pillai looked at my father and said, electronics is fine, but communication is everything. And he said, if he wants to be successful, he will have to communicate better. So my father, I remember my father came back home and was so eager to tell me what happened. But as you can see, it's not that no one told me about the importance of being bold, brave, and confident, and eloquent, and influential. I knew it like most of you know it, right? So why don't we do it then? If we have heard this for years, why don't we do this? At least I know my case, because I just didn't believe it was possible for me. Have you ever felt that way? Certain things are only possible for somebody else and not for you. So I didn't have the belief, and since I didn't have the belief, I didn't do anything related to that. And I just didn't pay enough attention to it. And I also felt that I can get away without learning it. Right? First thing, I didn't believe it, and second thing, I said it was not necessary. So for the next 10 years, I didn't do much to pick up that skill. And in fact, for the further about 10 to 15 years, I didn't do. Even when I was aware of it, I didn't do much till at least 15 years after leaving the college. Then suddenly I realized the need to do it and the need to change was now. So now if you fast forward to now, these days, last week, my team, by the way, I live in Singapore. My team in Singapore informed me that people from more than 100 countries has benefited from our coaching programs, books, and online courses. So that's 100 plus countries. And I was like, wow, my God. All right, that's huge. And so some of my students include quite prominent entrepreneurs, CEOs, UN diplomats, bureaucrats, academics, faculty members. And some of them even hold degrees from Harvard, Cambridge, and more. So basically people from all walks of life from many, many corners of the world. So I keep asking, people asking, what changed? People also ask me, what changed, right? One of my friends asked me, why would these folks who are apparently successful and doing really well listen to someone who was born and brought up in Kerala, right? Or in Trivandrum? And during an interview on BBC World News, I was also asked this question. That's why I brought up this point. I was asked this question, Manoj, you are an engineer. How come you got interested in speaking? And I was intrigued, but I was not surprised. Because you see, there is a general perception around the globe that engineers do not speak. That's a general perception. So now imagine this in your context and the people you know, and this includes alumni and faculty and all the volunteers who are here today. Imagine this, what if engineers spoke? And what I have seen in my experience is that when engineers start to speak, they can speak better than anybody else, because you have an analytical mind, you can think, you can structure your thoughts, you can present. But it might be hard for you to believe what I just said, because there is no evidence set. So here are 3 things I would suggest and recommend for your consideration that you need to get started now to stand out and stay ahead of everybody else. So the number 1 is to focus on boosting your belief that it is possible for you. So your communication is your key. It is your life's golden ticket. So believe that it's possible for you to master it, even if you do not see any evidence. Right now, you don't see your circumstance. You can give 100 reasons why it's not possible for you. So I always tell my students, no belief, no relief. You need to believe that you can get there. Like when Principal Dr. Gigi Sir said, we need to ensure 100% placement or be in the top 1 or top 20. Why not top 1, right? So But even to achieve that, we have to have the belief that is possible. So no belief, no relief. And I can tell you with certainty, after coaching people from more than 100 countries, I can tell you with certainty that you can become a fabulous speaker and a fabulous leader no matter where you start. I said, no matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you start, but it does matter whether you start. So start with the belief that you can become competent, become relentless, become unstoppable. So that starts the beliefs. And when you start off, some of you are in semester 1, some of you are in final year, you have different experience, different backgrounds, you studied in different schools. My point here is you do not need to see the whole path now. You don't need to see the entire path from where you are now to where you want to be, but you need to be clear where you want to reach. Let me illustrate that with an example. So imagine in the middle of the dark night, it's a dark night, in the middle of the night, you take your car and drive or bike, you drive from Trivandrum to Thrissur in the middle of the night. And when you start, you can't see the whole way. You don't see the whole way. Your headlights of your vehicle will show you only the next 50 meters. But you know for sure that if eventually you will reach your destination covering just 50 meters at a time. And have the belief that you will reach your destination no matter how dark it appears. So that's number one, focus on building that belief. So number 2 will be to focus on mastering the 5 core skills. You might have heard me saying this again and again in different sessions if you attend any of my sessions. So I keep saying it's not often the best or the smartest or the brightest who will rise higher. If you want to bulletproof your career, to recession-proof your career, on top of building your competencies, your graduation, collecting your degrees and certificates, you also need to master 5 core skills. And if you do not master these 5 core skills, it doesn't matter what you master, you will always be performing under your true potential. So, by the way, here are the 5 core skills, and I will also type it in the chat. Somebody is messaging me, so let me just switch off that messaging. So here are the 5 core skills, right? The ability to connect. When you see someone for the first time, how do you connect with them? An ability to communicate, ability to network, ability to lead, and ability to influence. Let me see if I can type that into the chat box. If you want to take notes, I will just, and there is also YouTube videos on this. If you want to learn more, I'll invite you to save the YouTube link or subscribe to the channel, because there are more educational videos coming up on that topic. So 5 core skills. And this is what you really need eventually on top of what. So competence is important, but confidence is paramount. Because the problem in the world, there are a lot of people who are competent, but they do not have the confidence. And that's why they struggle in their career and they don't reach the potential they could actually be. And I always say there's a problem in the world. There are a lot of competent people who do not have the confidence, and a lot of confident people who do not have the competence. So you need to build up that, you need to build up both competence and confidence. And the good news is you can master these skills. As I said before, you can master the skill. Even if you are introverted or shy, you can fly. I always say I was born shy, but I learned to fly. So I've seen that happening in my clients, that people with in various background, various situations worse than most of people in this session are doing extremely well because they showed up their confidence, build up their confidence and the belief system, and also learning these 5 core skills. So this also means some of you might be struggling with your academics, may not be performing well in academics. You still have hope if you catch up on your academics, but also learn these skills. It also means for those of you who are really the best in academics, you are not safe unless you master the 5 core skills. You remember, the world is changing drastically and irreversibly. It is getting flatter than ever before. So if you are smart enough, I would strongly recommend you, on top of your competence, also focus on building those 5 core skills, and you will be glad that you did it. So that is number 2, focus on the 5 core skills. Number 3 is to focus on progression, not perfection. You see, when you are starting to learn something new, like being brave to communicate, to attend interviews, you're learning something for the very first time, and you don't have much experience, it can be intimidating. But here is what I like to say, because when you're starting to learn something new, you're bound to make mistakes, right? For example, when you first started to learn A, B, C, D, you probably made mistake, but you went on doing it. You got better. So here's the thing. Don't expect to be perfect and world-class on day one. Even the CET, we just said, CET was not built in a day. It was built with faculty and alumni and intergovernment intervention and to build into a brand. So it takes effort, and we make mistake. We also learn from a mistake. And I also say that our biggest mistake is to be afraid to make more mistakes. So don't focus on perfection. So I say focus on progression, not perfection. And also this is very important. When you join clubs like this, be bold and confident, you will see some people are already bold and confident. You also meet people who are better than you. So my advice for you is don't feel scared, don't feel jealous, don't feel envious, honor them, respect them, and learn from them. And that is something that will help you really well. For instance, I'll tell you this. One of my classmates in CET messaged me recently. And remember this, we have not met or spoken in 25 years, okay? So he sent me a message, and I'll share with you my message he sent me. So remember, this is the first message I'm receiving from him in 25 years. So I asked Dr. Jesse, can I share? And she said, okay, you can share. So this is what she said, he sent. Can you see my screen? Somebody can confirm.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes.
So he said,
Yes, sir.
you never used to speak much, and now, oh my God. So this just proof that it is something new. It's not that I was born with any special skills or anything of that sort. So my point of showing that is to show proof for my past where I was operating under the radar. And I was not doing a good service for me by staying under the radar. So as you embark on a new journey today, remember, one day your classmates will be proud of you. They will admire you. So if you dedicate yourself to lifelong learning, by the way, if you want to adapt to this new world, you need to embrace lifelong learning. I have students who are much older than me. Some of them are 65 years old. One guy is 77 years old. They still come to learn because they have embraced lifelong learning. They are retired, but they want to learn because that's what keeps them young and alert. So you are too young to give up on learning. One of the mistakes most graduates do is they stop learning. You see, your university, your college has helped you to learn something, but that's not enough. You need to catch up. There will be a gap. As I said in one of the other sessions, which is on YouTube, where I spoke at the Professional Speakers Summit in Kerala, organized by the government, I was saying, you see, there will be a time for the curriculum to catch up with the industry. So that's not an excuse for you to give up or not put extra effort. You need to be willing to put an extra effort required to bridge the gap. And part of that is to embrace lifelong learning. So one of the things I said in that talk is, if imagine there was a brain surgeon who graduated in, let's say, 1960s. He can't do brain surgery today referring to the lesson he learned in 1960. The patient will die. So when I said this, there was a brain surgeon in the audience in that Professional Speaker Summit. Dr. Iqbal, he was a previous vice chancellor of Kerala University. He came to me and said, I really admire your point because, I am a brain surgeon. We need to keep learning. So the point is, you need to, I say, if you dedicate yourself to lifelong learning, if you commit your time to transform yourself, you will reach the heights you never imagined before. And people who once knew you will not be able to recognize you. If you want to give me an example, imagine this. Have you ever seen a beautiful butterfly flying happy and high? When you look at it, you can't believe it once used to be an ordinary caterpillar. So just like that, when you are determined to stretch yourself and challenge yourself, you will make your family proud. You will make your BBC Club members proud. You will make your friends proud. So once again, here are the 3 areas I suggest that you focus on. Focus on boosting your belief that's possible for you. Focus on mastering the 5 core skills. Focus on progression, not perfection. So today, as we launch the BBC Club, let me also warn you about something. I just want to warn you about something because you join with a lot of enthusiasm, but you are going to face some challenges. Let me tell you that. Because if you try to invite your friends to join this club, many of them won't join you because they may not have the same vision that as you do. So you try to convince people, they may not join because their belief system is not there yet. But don't feel discouraged. I think there's some background noise. So don't feel discouraged and don't lose your focus, because when you know you are on the right path and your friends don't join you, guess what? Walk alone. Like Rabindranath Tagore said, right? Ekla chalo re, just walk alone. Not everyone might join you because they don't have the same vision as you do. So as Einstein said, and as your BBC Club tagline says, be a voice, not an echo. So sometimes you may have to stand out and find your voice and speak up. So my friends, if you are feeling you're not ready, I encourage you to take the courage and join this, take on these opportunities with the generous help from volunteers and alumni. And I truly believe if you're willing to make a focused, deliberate, and determined effort to improve your skills, I have no doubt that one day, perhaps in 2 years' time, or 5 years' time, or 10 years' time, when the CET BBC Club celebrates its anniversary, guess what? They will invite you to become the guest of honor. And I look forward to that day. So with that, I would like to, I'm supposed to share with you the video to launch the logo of the CET BBC Club. That was what I was invited to do. Let me do so. I hope that will work.
Manoj,
Yes? Yes.
video will be shared by the students.
Okay, sure. That's great. So that's all from me.
Okay.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. And I'm glad to make a small contribution as you launch your club. Thank you.
Thank you for your fruitful words, sir. I am Surabhi of S3 Electronics. Now we will have a video played for unveiling the logo created by Ebin Baby of S7 CSE. And sir, you may announce this as the official logo launch of CET BBC Club.
Hey guys, I'm Apu from S5 Electrical, and thank you Manu sir, that was our logo launch. Now for your attention, I'd like to bring something to you guys. From the conception of the Natashastras, it was known to man that whatever the art may be, it requires a signature of its own to stand out. This signature mostly rely on the artist on incarnation of that idea, which culminates liquid beats to myriad vibrant moves, a visual ecstasy of energy, elegance, and emotions. The Nihar Band. Every single rampant and spectacular performance stands to the other. Watching these guys move gave me inspiration to push myself and rather to understand that what matters the most is the moment. And without further ado, I welcome them, the Nihar Band.
കുളിര് തന്നനാനനനാന തനനനനാനനനാ തന്നനാനനനാ തന്നനാനനനാന മുത്തുപോലെ മുളം തത്ത പോലെ മിന്നൽ പോലെ ഇളം തെന്നൽ പോലെ മഞ്ഞു പോലെ മാൻ കുഞ്ഞു പോലെ മുല്ല പോലെ നീല പോലെ ഇണങ്ങുന്ന മഴയോ തമ്മിൽ പിണങ്ങുന്ന പുഴയോ തളിരിട്ടലകയോ അവൾ ആവണിക്കുടമോ ഇണങ്ങുന്ന മഴയോ തമ്മിൽ പിണങ്ങുന്ന പുഴയോ തളിരിട്ടലതയോ അവൾ ദാവണിക്കുടമോ മഴവില്ലിൻ തിടമ്പോ മദനപ്പൂ വരമ്പോ തമ്പുരു നരമ്പോ കണ്ണിൽ താമരക്കുറുമ്പോ ഒരു കുടത്തണലിൽ ഒരുങ്ങുന്നതാരോ അവൾ പഞ്ചവർണ്ണ പടവിൽ കൊഞ്ചിയെത്തും കുളിര് നെഞ്ചലിഞ്ഞ കിളി പോലെ അവൾ അഞ്ചിതളിൽ പടരും പഞ്ചമത്തിൻ മടിയിൽ പുഞ്ചിരിക്കും പൂ പോലെ മുത്തുപോലെ മുളം തത്ത പോലെ മിന്നൽ പോലെ ഇളം തിന്നൽ പോലെ മാൻ കുഞ്ഞു പോലെ ചില്ല പോലെ
Thank you, Neha, for that beautiful performance. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ganga Satish from S5 Industrial. Today, I'm here to introduce our keynote speaker before you all, Dr. Divya Isaiah, IAS. Dr. Divya is a doctor turned civil servant and is currently posted as the Mission Director of Mahatma Gandhi, NREGA. Her kindness and down-to-earth nature is highly admirable. She has already won people's heart with her selflessness in her service. She's a trained dancer, singer, writer, and actor. She made her debut on the silver screen in the Malayalam movie Eliyammechiyude Aditya Christmas. Her songs for Election Commission's campaign to spread awareness on ballot battle were also hailed on social media. She is the author of 2 books. First one named Pathfinder, which is written during her IAS preparation, and the second one titled Applied Diplomacy Through the Prism of Mythology. Whenever she is asked in her interviews about how she managed everything with her studies, she would smile and say that time is not an issue if you really know what to do. Dr. Divya's academic brilliance can be seen from her school years. She secured the 3rd rank in SSLC examination in the year 2000. She completed her medical degree from prestigious CMC Vellore. She achieved 139th rank in the Indian Civil Service examination in her first attempt and 48th rank in her second attempt and joined the Indian Administrative Service. Some of the major recognitions she received are Precious Daughter of India Award from the Government of Rajasthan in recognition of contribution to women empowerment. She was selected for the International Student Exchange Program between Christian Medical College, Vellore, and National University of Singapore Hospital. She was awarded the International Inspirational Woman in Administration Award 2020 from the GISR Research Foundation. I feel elated to introduce Dr. Divya Isaiah before you all, being a Santhamite myself. We welcome you here, ma'am. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much for those kind and rather generous words. So first of all, congratulations to all of you, especially to CETAA for this wonderful venture called Be Bold and Confident. What more do you require in life than be bold and confident about what you do? Especially in today's age and era, when there is a lot of influence and a lot of information that's available freely all around us. Students especially are often left at sea as to what to choose and how to choose and which is the path to choose. So I think a club like this is definitely going to be a great asset to everybody who's associated with CET. So when Asha Chechi actually called me up and asked me to be the keynote speaker here, I think the first thing I asked myself was, what has helped me be bold and confident at times when it's required? Now, if you ask me, have I been bold and confident all through my life? The straight answer is definitely no. Like everybody else, I have had my own ups and downs in my life. And to be able to pick myself up from the ashes is definitely a skill that life has been teaching me and probably teaching everybody else who is listening to this as well. So when I looked around in my room, I found this old poster, a rather crudely handwritten doodle of mine, which was stuck to the wall in my study room, which says a very famous phrase, a Latin phrase, which all of you would know. When I say Latin, I'm sure you would guess what the phrase is. It is carpe diem, right? Seize the day. So, that is probably one phrase or a couple of words which is actually stuck to my head and probably to my vision as it overlooks my study table at my home, which has helped me actually realize that each day is something which is precious and each moment is precious, which ought to be used, which ought to be treated as a gift indeed. I know this is age-old wisdom, but I thought I should share with you what I have gone through in my life. And hence, this is the beginning. So when I was studying for civil services, as was mentioned in the introduction, I was not one of those persons who could, jump the fence the first time. So it took a couple of attempts or more for me to actually reach the destination that I had set for myself. And every day I would look at this poster. I would tell myself, yes, this is your opportunity to seize the day. For this day is not going to come back to you. And it is probably that thought which was ingrained in my mind, which was ingrained in my psyche, that actually helped me be bold and confident throughout that journey. But as you might know, it's a rather long and arduous journey. It's not an exam which requires you to be up in your spirits and be the best of yourself for a single day or a couple of days or not even for a week. It takes almost a year for one to just finish the exams through the different stages. And that precisely taught me that it's important to ensure that one stays motivated by oneself. And this whole idea of intrinsic motivation probably slipped into me during that time and helped me uncover a lot of areas within me which I had not seen myself till that day. And whatever they may be, I decided that every day is a new journey, every day is a new exploration, and every day is an opportunity to be seized. And it's that simple idea and thought which actually helped me be bold and confident on the days when I was down, on the days when I had the blues, on the days when I have woken up and thought that this is not meant for me. I'm probably not meant to do this. Oh my God, will I ever be able to clear this exam? Will I ever be able to reach where I want to reach? And all kinds of questions and confusion that arises in your head. So as I kept reading about these things, I came across this book, this Japanese book, which talks about ikigai. I'm sure all of you would have heard about ikigai. It's one of my favorite concepts. But the same authors of ikigai actually wrote a second book, which probably did not attract as much attention as the first one across the globe. It's called Ichigo Ichai. Now, Ichigo Ichai actually comes from these four Japanese phrases, which literally means one time, one meeting. Okay? Literally means one time, one meeting. But what it actually means is every time you meet somebody, every time you encounter a situation, every time you're presented with an opportunity, understand that it is a one-time happening. It's never going to happen again in your life. Again, this must be something which is very simple and which is age-old wisdom. But the very fact that one can remind oneself of this day in and day out in the form that Japanese culture does to them, in the form of Ichigo Ichai. It opened a new world of opportunities and a new sense of well-being to me and to everybody whom I have shared this with. So I thought today when I speak to you, exhorting you to be bold and confident in all situations that life might present you with, it's important and it might help to remember that phrase, Ichigo Ichai. Just come to think of it. As Heraclitus said, you cannot step into the same river twice because the waters are continuously flowing, right? You cannot come across the same meeting. You cannot come across the same opportunity more than once in your life. Every moment that you're being presented with is completely unique. And arguably, they're mutually exclusive of every other moment that you are going to have in your life. And as students, I think it's extremely important to understand this and to understand the importance and significance of every day, of every hour, of every week, of every month in your life. Now, this is not about time management, don't mistake me. I'm only trying to highlight how a chance meeting with a person might just turn the tables in your favor. How an incident in your life might leave you completely changed and transformed forever. How an encounter with a difficult situation can actually unleash the best in you to hold you in good stead for a lifetime. It's important to realize that every moment in your life and every situation that you're put in your life is unique. All of us might meet tomorrow in a different situation. Many of us might have met yesterday in a different situation, but the conversation that we're having today is unique, and this is never going to happen again. For me, I have experienced this myself, and I'm glad to say that two of these transformative experiences that I've had in the context of, Ichigo Ichai is actually with CET alumni. So the first person I have to talk about is Dr. Babu Paul. He's no more with us today. But every moment I have spent with him, every moment I have spent talking to him or arguing with him or just sitting and listening to him has been so precious that I think it has influenced me more than anything else so far in my life. So what was that one moment or that one meeting which happened at one point of time, which made me into a different person? When I was a little kid, there was this merit award ceremony where I was supposed to go on stage and receive an award for my academic performance. And Dr. Baba Paul was the chief guest at that ceremony. And as luck would have it, he was the person, I was the person who was chosen to hand over a little lamp to him in order to light the inaugural lamp. And after I did that, and I took his blessings and I took the present from him, the prize from him, I came down and sat and listened to his speech, completely awestruck as a starry-eyed little girl who was in LP school. And at that point of time, just that one moment or that one meeting with this great man seeded the dreams of becoming somebody like him, of becoming an IAS officer. And that truly was a transformative moment in my life, I think. And every time I keep thinking about it, I'm actually rendered speechless because the amount of influence that little thought or that, rather brief experience or that rather brief encounter with this person has made to me in my life, it's in fact unbelievable. So this is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about this Japanese concept, I'm sure all of you have had such moments in your life. They may be for good, they may be for bad. I'm not saying all of these moments are only positive in nature, but definitely understand that every moment is precious and every moment is going to be unique. And it has the power to transform you into a better person for tomorrow. And it's up to us. The onus is upon us to understand the significance of every moment and every meeting and every situation in our life and make the most out of it and carve a path for ourselves for the future to be at a place where we love to be. And that is more important, I think. Talking about what we love to be and where we love to be, the second person whom I mentioned, with whom I had a chance meeting, which transformed my life, is about another CET alumnus, who's currently my husband, Shabrinathan. I think we met at an official meeting for once. And there was nothing which was unofficial about that meeting, let me confess. But soon after that meeting, there was something residual in the two of us, which made sure that we are where we are today. So it's just that first moment. It's probably that, the uniqueness and the significance of that one meeting, which actually unfurled itself into many more and presented us with something that we love every day of our lives. I'm just trying to highlight these examples from my life because the more I look into what makes me confident or what makes me happy, it's all about these people around us. And if you ask me what is the biggest asset in my life, it's definitely about the people I have had in my life and the people whom I have in my life currently and the people I'm going to have in my life tomorrow and the day after and the day after. And this is something which I keep cherishing day in and day out. And if you ask me what I really love about my profession, I think it's precisely that every day in this profession as an IAS officer has been so unique that not a single day has been like the day before. Every day presents me with unique challenges. Every day presents me with opportunities. Every day brings to me new people and new faces and new emotions. And it's a uniqueness and a variety of challenges and opportunities and problems that one faces that actually makes one's life worthwhile. I was just listening to a part of the talk delivered by Mr. Manoj. Sorry, I couldn't listen to the entire talk, but I did listen to him, talk about Ekla Cholore. And I completely agree with it, that all of us have to walk our own paths in our own charted ways. But it's also important to ensure that we take along our people, because that is what has actually helped me stay bold, confident, and happy. And talking about the people that I have taken along with my life, I would be remiss if I do not mention the third, or rather the first CET alumnus in my life, who's my sister, my elder sister, Nitya S. Iyer. She is in Bangalore right now. She's working with TCS right now. And the first time I entered the CET campus was with her. And I would always remember that. It was a wonderful day. Again, one of those, one meeting, one time, the itchy-eye moments in my life. When I first saw the CET campus, it was indeed mind-blowing to me at that point of time as a little girl. And the kind of warmth that the campus embraces everybody with is something that all of you would cherish for a lifetime, I'm sure, because I keep hearing stories about it from all these people around me that I mentioned. And I'm happy and glad that I have been able to be a part of this on this virtual platform with all of you. I think I am probably overshooting my time, if I'm right. So I was given 10 minutes to speak, and probably I have spoken for 10 minutes or more, isn't it, Ganga? Yeah. So I would like to, I would like to wrap up my words and just leave you with the thought that every moment is unique and precious in your life, and the very fact that you have realized that helps you utilize the moment to the fullest. And as they say, live your todays to the fullest and your tomorrows will be definitely taken care of. And always be bold and stay confident. Life has a slew of opportunities and challenges for you, only left for you to uncover it. So get going and get acting. Thank you so much, and all the very best to everybody.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening words. Hello everyone. I am Jagas from S3 Civil. Since we have got the time of such a resourceful person, we must maximum utilize this opportunity in a maximum way. So let's have an interactive session. So you can ask questions in the chat box. So ma'am, there's a question. Were there any hurdles in expressing opinion or making decision being a woman? Hello?
Yeah. Okay.
Clear, ma'am?
Yes. Could you just repeat the question? Sorry. Were there any hurdles?
Were there any hurdles expressing opinion or making decision being a woman?
Okay. I don't think, just the fact that I am a woman has actually created any hurdles in making decisions or expressing my opinions in my life. But that is not to say that there were no challenges of sexism or any kind of gender discrimination or gender bias that I have faced in my life. I definitely have faced, gender discrimination, and to a certain amount, some amount of, abuse, which probably you won't recognize that it's an abuse at a very young age, because you think that that's the way the world is and that's the way society is. So, but apart from that, I would say, anybody has stopped me from expressing myself just because I'm a woman. Kerala, for that matter, I think does accept voices of women to a large extent when compared to other places. But for decision making, yes, I think being a woman, there is this image that we create about women and romanticize about women that, women are these multitaskers all the time and these, supreme heroes all the time with 10 different arms at the same time and, trying to do everything at all points of time. It's good to acknowledge that a lot of women are actually doing it all. But, I remember listening to Indra Nui at some point of time in one of her talks and one of her interviews, and she said, you cannot have it all. And I think I completely agree with that. You cannot have it all. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you actually have 10 arms. You still only have 2, right? And it's important that it's not about time again. It is about how you prioritize things. And, for me to be sitting at 6 o'clock in the evening or 6:30 in the evening and actually talking to you when I have a little son who is waiting for me at home, it might sound very simple, it might sound silly, but it does take a lot of churning within your mind to actually prioritize something else over your, little son. So as a mother, it is a tough decision to make. But, this is not about anybody else. It is not about somebody else accepting my decision. It is about what you are as a woman and the kind of priorities that you would have at different points of time in your life, and what the society expects out of you at all points of time in your life. Because the society doesn't really make space for, anything less than the best just because you're a woman or because you have other things to do in life. So it's all about priorities, I would say. I'm sure men would have gone through, men would go through such situations in their lives as well. But, for all the responsibilities that are piled upon a woman by our society, women are forced to go through such decision-making situations much more frequently than a man would. That's what I would like to say.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, do you think community support can help you conquer heights?
Okay. Yes, definitely community support is required. That's what I mentioned in my talk also. Though all of us have to, walk by ourselves, it is important that we take the people along with us. We take our people along with us in our journey, because, for me in my life, it's my teachers, are the people who have influenced me a lot and who have guided me and who have always, given me a shoulder to cry on or given me a helping hand to, to lift me up when I have been down. So, I'm sure all of us would have had people. It's just that sometimes, we forget these people, or, we think that it just happened by coincidence or by chance. Now, it could be because of destiny. It could be because of chance. I'm not trying to get into that. But I think it's important to remember and be grateful for all the people and all the opportunities that you've had in your life. And definitely, as they say it, an African proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child. I would say it takes a village to also help somebody succeed in their lives. So it is about everybody who has sacrificed some little bit for you, everybody who has prioritized you over somebody else, everybody who has given you time, everybody who has just, sat down and listened to you when you were down, everyone who has given you that pep talk in your life. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people, any person's success is cumulative of the little things that a lot of people have actually done. So.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. There is another question. What are the skills that benefited you the most to reach in this position?
What are the skills?
Skills that benefited you to reach this profile.
Okay, interesting question. I think I would say the only skill that is probably required is to ensure that you keep learning all your life. You're never satisfied with what you have learned because you think that there is still a lot more to learn. And as I said, every moment presents you with a unique opportunity to learn. Every person whom I meet, has something in them which I don't, which I might want to learn. And it's, life is all about learning for me. So, my job, my family, my experiences, everything gives me something to learn. And it's the curiosity and it's the openness and the willingness to learn, which is arguably the key skill that's required to have a fulfilling life.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. That was a great session.
Hi, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, Bhagat, you are audible.
Hello. Ma'am, one last question from my side, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello. What made you move to IAS from the career of a doctor?
As I mentioned, it was a lifelong, it was a childhood ambition. And I think my time in Christian Medical College, Vellore, which is a wonderful institution, it's world apart from anything else that one might have seen in terms of a medical college. So CMC gave me a number of experiences which were life-changing in itself. As I said, every patient that I met there, every doctor that I met there, every person that I met there actually taught me something and enabled me to make this decision that I really need to widen my horizon and, hop over and move on to the IAS. But having said that, I did it and I still do it with, all the love and all gratefulness for my MBBS days in Vellore, because, that's the place that actually taught me, the value of human beings. That's the place that taught me what is pain and what is grief, what is death and what is loss. And, a lot of things which we keep taking for granted in our day-to-day lives. And, that's the place that taught me how it's important and how significant it is to dedicate your life to public service. And I thought the best opportunity that I had in front of me to enable myself to immerse in public service was the IAS. As I said, it was a childhood dream as well. So, it all kind of fitted in the right place, and I decided to make the move. So, yeah, I love being a doctor and I love being an IAS officer. It's all about service to people at the end of the day. The tools that you use are different in both these spheres. That's the only difference.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So, thank you, Divya ma'am, for sharing your valuable time with us. It means a lot to us. Now, let's see one more performance from this beautiful, brilliant, and elegant band, the Nihar Band.
എന്റെ എല്ലാം എല്ലാമല്ലേ എന്റെ ചേലത്ത ചെമ്പരുന്തല്ലേ നിന്റെ കാലിലെ കാണാ പാദസരം ഞാനല്ലേ ഞാനല്ലേ നിന്റെ മാറിലെ മായാ ചന്ദനം പൊട്ടെനിക്കല്ലേ എനിക്കല്ലേ കിണുങ്ങാ കിങ്ങിണിച്ചപ്പേ ചിരിക്കാ ചെമ്പകമൊട്ടെ പിണങ്ങാൻ എന്താണെന്താണ് പിണങ്ങാൻ എന്താണ് 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 മയങ്ങാൻ എന്താണ് 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 ഒത്തുചേർന്നോ ഏറിയ നാള് പോയതല്ലേ നീ മറന്നോ പോയൊരു നാൾ ഈരില പോലെ നാം ഇരുപേർ ഒത്തുപള്ളിയിൽ ഒത്തുചേർന്നോ ഏറിയ നാള് പോയതല്ലേ എന്നെ കടിച്ചു പാടി തന്നു പൊന്നുകിനാവിൻ കണ്ണിമല ഓർത്തിരുന്നു കാത്തിരുന്നു ജീവിതമാകെ നേരിടുമ്പോൾ നീ സ്വപ്നത്തൊരുത്തായി പച്ചത്തോറും കൽവിലിരുന്നു കിളിച്ചുണ്ടൻ മാമ്പഴമേ കിളിക്കൊത്താത്തി പഴമേ തളിർച്ചുണ്ടിൽ പുത്തിരി മുത്തായി ചിപ്പി എന്നെ കാത്തുവച്ചു ഞാനരളിമാല കൊണ്ട് നിന്നെ കെട്ടിയിട്ടാലോ പെരുന്നാൾ നിലാവ് കൊണ്ടൊരുമാൽ തീർത്ത കൈകളാ ഞാനരളിമാല നിനക്കു വേണ്ടി കോർത്തെടുത്താലോ ഇനി താരകങ്ങളെ തിരുസാക്ഷിയാക്കി ഞാൻ നിന്നെ സ്വന്തമാക്കുമെന്റെ സൈനബ Sainaba, Sainaba.
Thank you, Neha, for that incredible performance. Hello, I am Ashwin and I am a student of third year electronics. Today, it is my duty to inform all the students and the future members of the club present here about the upcoming events and the programs that we have planned for you. We have planned a variety of interactive and productive sessions for the students. We will be having programs specific to different batches. Our first event will be a pre-placement drive for the final years, and it will take place on the second week of November. It will contain a host of activities like aptitude tests, group discussions, mock interviews, as well as resume plannings. The club will be oriented at career planning sessions, mentorship programs, and community services, which will bring greater visibility to our college. The programs will also allow the CETians to interact and learn from our eminent alumni. The events planned will also allow for better cohesion of the CETians with the alumni, the industry, and the community at large. We look forward to conduct all these events with the active participation of all the members of the BBC. Now, we'll be moving on to the Q&A session. And I would like to welcome one of our eminent alumnus, Mr. Murugesha. He completed his BTech in Mechanical Engineering from our college in 1985. He was also the chairman of the college union during the year 1984 to 85. He has over 30 years of experience working with students and professionals from all over the country. He received his MBA from BIM in 1987 and is also the CEO and founder of the CG Institute of Hardware Training. He received his degree in law a few years ago, and he now works for the rights of the women, the workers, and the rural people of India. I would like to invite Mr. Murugesha to host the Q&A session. Thank you.
Good evening, folks. After two brilliant speeches, I look forward to some questions regarding the activities of this club.
Okay, sir. So there is a question.
Okay.
How do you make sure through this program maximum or even all students are benefited?
Okay. The bulk of the programs which has been planned is for the members of the club and for the students who are not the members of the club. As stated very clearly in the previous by the previous speaker, the club not only it's oriented towards placement, it is also oriented to helping students work together as a team, build the leadership skills in them, give them access to community services like taking up projects in and around the college, and also career planning. We are not looking at primarily career planning. We are working towards making a student a holistic person, ready for the world in whatever career he or she chooses to go forward. It could be civil services, it could be MBA, it could be abroad education, or it could be even starting a working life career. The entire activities of the club is to empower you, is to prepare you, is to make you believe a little bit more, a wee bit more in yourself, so that we stand out in the marketplace, in the career marketplace. And obviously this is done with the objective of ensuring that we reach the top 25 in the next couple of years.
Thank you, sir. There is another question. Will there be any additional points given to students if they attend the BBC programs?
Okay. Like the two esteemed speakers before me said very clearly, seize the day, every day, especially Dr. Divya IAS was so eloquently said, every day is a learning experience. It's not that being a member in this club is going to help them more. It will help them practice more. It will help them, practice makes everything perfect, they say. So you attend 3 interviews, maybe the 4th interview, you will know what not to do. Every practice session is a session in here, which will help the person become better. Every leadership training session, every self-assessment training session. What I mean by self-assessment, we are planning programs which will help groups of students understand each other well. What are their areas of strengths? What are their areas of weaknesses? What are the things which they need to do to improve themselves? It is not done with the objective of getting them a job. Life ain't all about jobs. Life is all about becoming a full person and being a true CETian, being a true CETian who's confident and ready to face the world.
Thank you, sir. So what is the evaluation plan for BBC programs?
Okay, fantastic. Well, that's something we have been talking about. How are we going to benchmark ourselves for people who become members of the club and who participate in the programs? We definitely are planning a demographic survey or a demographic study of the members of the club, purely voluntarily, to understand anonymously the strengths and weaknesses of the members of the club. That will help us fine-tune some of the programs which will help overall improvement in their skills, capabilities, and capacity. So obviously, while we do this, there'll be measurement. A person was at level X, has a person reached level Y, and each one of these sessions will have constant evaluation by alumni, by mentors, by people who are professional trainers. It's not that you're going to see the same faces like us. We're going to reach out to the alumni and get them to come and give training. So that every session will be an illuminating session, and then you'll feel that, hey, I attended this club. Did I become better? At any stage, the students will are encouraged to tell us if they think that some of the programs ain't nothing good. So we correct ourselves, and we have a self-correcting mechanism which makes every program better. And next thing is proof of the pudding is in eating. We know that so many students are ready for placement. How do we help them get better jobs? We intend coordinating with the other groups which are working, other clubs which are working on getting better placements. getting improving communication and see how together we can make a difference to this batch in this pandemic year. Our success would be measured if we deliver this year properly.
Sir, thank you. Next, we have a final question. In case I am rated low in the evaluation, what are the ways I can improve upon?
Good. If at all you're rated low, I would say you are very honest. You are understood the need for improvement. That takes care of 95% of the problem. Understanding what the problem is. Correcting the problem is only 5% because I believe we are CETians. We are quintessentially great. We are quintessentially smart. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So if some person has got a problem, we definitely are planning to ensure that they will have some specific mentors who will be assigned to them, who would work with them, because it's not a career coach. This person will be a mentor. This person will work with the person, be a friend, philosopher, guide. That will help the person become better. I mean, I can tell you about numerous occasions where people, 1-2 people have made that difference to my life. So the point is, give to others what others have done to us is what most of the alumni who are here wanting to do this. So if somebody is rated bad, nothing wrong in it. That is the first thing. We have identified the problem. Once we identify the problem, we correct it. After all, we are engineers, and we are engineers from CET, obviously. So we will become better, and you will have access to the entire alumni in this club, and you can talk to them. You have our mobile numbers, you will have our personal email IDs. Write to them. In fact, in the last couple of months, I've interacted with so many students which are not interacted ever since I left college a couple of decades ago. So we are there for you. It's just, and this is an amazing initiative by Dr. Gigi and the faculty, who possibly are the best in Kerala, because CET is the best. So if you are don't worry if you are rated bad, we are here to help you. And if we make you better, that shows whether this club is successful or not. I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much, sir, for clearing our doubts. Now,
thank you, Ansi. For Honorable Principal Dr. Gigi CV, our most valuable invited guest, Mr. Manoj Vasudevan, Dr. Divya Sayer IAS, alumni, faculty, and friends. I consider this my privilege being asked to deliver a vote of thanks for this occasion. I, on behalf of CET BBC Club, express my heartfelt gratitude to all the speakers and guests who graced this occasion with their valuable presence. I humbly thank Mr. Manoj Vasudevan and Dr. Divya S. Iyer for sparing time from their busy schedule to address our students, launching our logo, and marking the official launch of our club. Further, I also thank Nihar Band for their inevitable presence that made this function an entertaining one. I wholeheartedly express my gratitude to all our alumni members, faculties for providing us support, mentorship, and guidance for the formation of this club. I would like to thank all the volunteers for their immense support and sheer hard work that made this possible. Once again, I need to thank all the students, faculty, for meeting and making this a great success. Thank you for being with us this evening. It was a great pleasure meeting you all. Thank you.
thank you, Sharad. With this, we have come to the end of our BBC launch program. Thank you once again all for your kind participation. Also, let us give a round of applause for the organizers for making this program successful. Thank you so much, everyone. We will be conducting a pre-placement drive first in the coming month, exclusively for our final years. It will have aptitude tests, GDs, and interviews. Looking forward for all your support in the future BBC events. We will officially close this program now. Thank you.